Village Square in association with Transforming Rural India and TonsBridge School. I would request Dr. Shrishti Sethi to please come up on the stage. Dr. Shrishti Sethi is a sociologist by training who is currently auditor school system in Uttarakhand. Prior to this, she was a doctoral fellow at LMSAI, Harvard University. She has PhD from the Tata Institute of Social Sciences and a master's degree from the University of Leicester, UK. She was a research fellow at the Lal Bahadur Shastri Academy of Administration, Missouri. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Requesting people towards the back of the stage to take a seat, please. It is indeed a great privilege to be amidst such an erudite audience. We have with us a collaborative effort here with the unflinching support of the Valley of Words team, ma'am and sir's excellent vision and affection, which keeps all of us going. Let me start by welcoming Team Village Square, India. Village Square, at the Village Square, people are determined to bring real stories of impact from rural India to the forefront. This upcoming session, which is co-curated by Village Square, is poised to captivate audiences with the art of storytelling. Their mission is to bridge the gap between rural and urban youth by serving as a conduit for relevant, compelling, and captivating rural content. Through their initiative, they aim to ignite a keen interest in the predominantly Indian rural lifestyle among students, introducing them to the nuances of storytelling as a powerful medium. Next, the TonsBridge School. We have grade 9th and 11th students here, along with their English teachers, music teachers, as well as the Hindi choir. The TonsBridge School has created a benchmark in the field of education in the Doon Valley by adopting latest technology and tools to impart education through unique smart class systems. At the TonsBridge, far from the distractions of the city, students are presented with an opportunity to learn from nature, the greatest teacher of all. The boarding facilities are meticulously designed to create a homely atmosphere for students, with a key focus on the Indian value system, personalized experience of dormitories, vegetarian meals, to name a few. This session surely promises to be a shared experience of rural-urban merging. I now request the Village Square team to take the stage, Ms. Teesta Rajan, Mr. Amir Malik, Ms. Shreya Parak. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I would request the team to first play the Village Square promo before I can start. So that is Village Square in a video. Yukti, for the audiences live on Instagram, I would request you to not keep flipping the camera. I'll still have to keep flipping their heads. I'm Teesta, and I'm representing Village Square alongside my colleague Yukti and two phenomenal Village Square fellows, my favorites, in fact, whom you'll meet shortly. At Village Square, as Srishti already said, our hearts beat for narrating the unique stories of rural India. the highs, the challenges, and the captivating stories and insights from Village Square. Our dream is to bridge the gap between rural and urban India by fostering a connection through shared humanity we all cherish. And this is one of the reasons why we launched the Village Square Fellowship, where a bunch of young change makers receive an opportunity to report for and have their work published on Village Square. What unfolded out of this was pure magic. A vibrant collection of untold stories from rural India, all bundled up into a delightful coffee table book that will also be available at one of the stalls there for you to check out, buy, whatever. So basically, all of this collection was bundled up into a delightful coffee table book, and even better, we are lucky to have with us one of the authors of the Village Square coffee table book, Amir. We want to hear your story about how it all started, how you got published, and how you feel right now. The stage is yours.
Uh, Hi, my name is Amir Malik, and I have been one of the luckiest 9 to have received one of the prestigious fellowship that Village Square started last year. And in the epoch of the 1 year that finished, we have visited almost tens and thousands of kilometers in the remotest part of our country. But and to get stories from there to, as you can see, that we all are dedicated to storytelling. We are storytellers and trying to make some impact, some change. And I can see almost majority of our audience today is very young, and I think it is very important for us to understand why stories from rural India need to be told. But first, we understand what make a rural, what makes it, what makes us urban, what makes us rural. That is very important, and thereby our stories will come eventually if we understand the gap that exists between the two. As we see, we are united as a country called India, but within that nation there are many nations, and in those smaller pockets that form this country, there exist grief, misery, different kinds of emotions, celebrations, and believe me, if you travel, if you walk in the villages, you are a changed person now, and I am sure all of us would like to have certain degree of compassion and certain emotions which we connect to the person next to us. Imagine the crores of people, billion people, billion stories, and how many stories are that we see in our everyday newspaper, in our everyday mainstream media. Rarely a few. The last rural story I can guarantee you that you all might remember was Premchand's Eidgah, Hamid, the grandmother story, or stories, certain stories of Ruskin Bond, certain stories of certain dedicated people who are willing to tell you all these impactful stories from villages, from smaller hamlets. And I'm going to share a couple of stories with you which I myself have been lucky to cover. But before that, let me just introduce you what is the gap that I was talking about. The gap is that in everyday newspaper that we have, in all the news that you see on everyday basis, in TV channels, included on social media, including social media. So Center for Media Studies in 2014 and 15 gave us a very important data. How much of the 70% of population comes on your front page daily? All the newspapers included. Can you guess what is the percentage of news or stories included that you see? Like, can any of you stand up and tell me? Any guesses can you make? Like 5%, 10% of the entire news that you see is coming from rural India, 15%, 20%. What is it? How and why can't we see? I mean, the news from, and let me tell you one side story, that all the news that we get from rural India are either election stories, or if there is some deadly crime that happened in the villages, or if there is cricket match that is happening there. Or if there is some Bollywood films that is being screened or things like that. But these are four major things that you see from rural India in the mainstream newspaper. You don't get real stories. So my point is that it is the harshest truth ever that is being given to us, is that even less than 1%, even less than 0.5% of the entire news production that happened, it's like 0.24% of all the news that were covered in 2014 and 15. Imagine the data came in 2015, so the news was from the collection of data happened in 2013. That happened it was a transition period, and it was an election era. 2013 was election era, like how we are at the crossroads this time. 10 years back, this data gives us that 0.24% of the news came from rural India. It simply means that we are ignoring 70 to 80% of the population from the media. Then what are we covering? That is also, let's see, what do our newspapers tell us? Our newspapers tell us the cohort of all this. One, what is happening in Delhi, what is happening in Bollywood in Mumbai, what is happening in tech in Bangalore, what is happening in cricket, and what is happening in the national politics in 2-3 kilometers of the country that is happening, like proper capital news that you are getting, news from the certain centers of Delhi. That is all that you are consuming every day, and thereby we are here to make a change. And alternative platforms for creative writing, for storytelling, for news production, there are many which are coming up until now, also because of the sudden rise and advent of social media. And there, at Village Square, we tried to make a change for 1 year. The first group of 10 people, nine people, the first group of 9 people, we were selected from across the country. Some is from Manipur, some is from South, some is from, I myself covered Rajasthan, the western part of India. Some is from Northeast. So the point is that we need to give some alternative to all the readers. Okay, so I think we are running out of time, but I'm just sharing 2 stories that as a student, you should be interested in. What did I cover in Jaisalmer? Do you know that there is Asia's biggest underground library lies in Pokhran? You knew that about the nuclear test that happened in Pokhran, but you didn't know that there is biggest library with 9 lakh copies of books lying underground, and there is no reader actually. So that is why I thank Value of Words to and different organizations, and also my Village Square Fellows, to have given me opportunities, and I wish you all the best, and to my next group of fellows to have discovered. And if you feel like giving more and writing about Village Square, how to cover, you can always contact us at Village Square, and over to Tista. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amir. That definitely gave us a lot to think about. And hey, we've also got a stellar member from our current batch of media fellows who's eager to share her journey on how she earned a spot in this year's fellowship, just like 10 others, right? Yeah, we have 11 fellows this time. So Shreya.
Thank you, Tista. Good morning, everyone. Okay, तो सीधे मुद्दे पे आते हैं और हम बात करते हैं कि हम
क्यों न्यूज़ पढ़ते हैं और क्यों ज़रूरी है इतना बात करना कि रूरल एरियाज़ से न्यूज़ आए। तो अगर मैं एक डेवलपमेंट सेक्टर की बात करूं या शब्द डेवलप्ड की बात करूं या डेवलप्ड नेशन की बात करूं, तो हमारे दिमाग में क्या इमेज आती है एक डेवलप्ड कंट्री की, कि अच्छे हॉस्पिटल्स हैं, अच्छी सड़कें हैं, बड़ी बिल्डिंग्स हैं, बहुत अच्छा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर है, राइट। लेकिन अगर हम और डीपली उसको सोचें तो ये समझ में आता है कि ये तो सिर्फ ऊपरी तौर पे डेवलपमेंट है। अगर सच में हमें ये जानना है कि क्या हमारा समाज डेवलप्ड है, तो हमें ये जानना चाहिए कि जो समाज के उस सेक्शन में लोग रह रहे हैं जहाँ पे अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ नहीं है, समाज के सबसे सबसे निचले तबके के जो लोग हैं वो क्या सोच रहे हैं, वो क्या खा रहे हैं, वो क्या कह रहे हैं, वो कहाँ काम कर रहे हैं और उनके क्या विचार हैं इस देश के बारे में और वहाँ रहने के बारे में। जब मैंने इस बारे में और सोचना शुरू किया तो मैंने हर चीज़ को अलग नज़रिए से देखना शुरू किया। मैंने जब भी अब कोई सरकार की नई पॉलिसी आती, उसको मैंने इस नज़रिए से देखना शुरू किया कि क्या सच में इससे डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, क्या रूरल एरिया में डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है जहाँ पे हमारी मेजॉरिटी ऑफ पॉपुलेशन है, क्या इस तरीके की खबरें हमारे मेन स्ट्रीम मीडिया में छापी जा रही हैं। और बहुत कोशिशों के बावजूद मुझे मीडिया स्पेस में, न्यूज़पेपर्स में, मेन स्ट्रीम न्यूज़ चैनल्स में इस तरीके की खबरें देखने को ही नहीं मिलती थी। ज़्यादातर कुछ ऐसी हेडलाइंस होती थी कि यहाँ पे अर्थक्वेक आया, इतने लोग मर गए, यहाँ पे ये हो गया, इतनी प्रॉब्लम्स हो गई हैं, लेकिन कोई भी उन आंकड़ों के पीछे की जो असली स्टोरीज़ हैं, लोगों की स्टोरीज़ हैं जो रूरल एरिया से आ रही हैं, उनको कवर नहीं करता था। और अगर देखें तो रूरल एरिया से काफ़ी कूल स्टोरीज़ आती हैं। दशरथ मांझी की एक स्टोरी है जिन्होंने सिंगल हैंडेडली, एक आदमी ने सिर्फ एक हथौड़े से पूरा पहाड़ तोड़ दिया। एक आदमी की कहानी है जिन्होंने मेंस्ट्रुअल हाइजीन में रेवोल्यूशन ला दिया और जिन पे मूवी बनी पैडमैन। ये सारी मूवीज़ रूरल एरिया से आ रही हैं और इन सब का काम डेकेड्स तक चलता रहा, बट कभी इनको वो रिकग्निशन नहीं मिला। और इतनी मेहनत के बाद फाइनली इनकी स्टोरीज़ लाइमलाइट में आई, और जब लाइमलाइट में आई तो एक बड़े स्तर पे बदलाव हुआ। इसी तरीके के बदलावों से इंस्पायर होकर मैंने रूरल एरियाज़ से स्टोरीज़ करना शुरू किया और मुझे विलेज स्क्वायर से जुड़ने का मौका मिला। और सबसे अच्छी बात यह है कि विलेज स्क्वायर में जो स्टोरीज़ रूरल एरियाज़ में कवर करते हैं वो आंकड़ों पे बेस्ड नहीं होती कि हमारे एग्रीकल्चर में ये प्रॉब्लम है और हम ये समस्या उजागर करना चाह रहे हैं। आखिर हम भी रीडर्स हैं, ऑडियंस हैं, हम भी कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ देखना चाहते हैं। हम न्यूज़ पढ़ते हैं तो हम बोर नहीं होना चाहते हैं। इसलिए विलेज स्क्वायर ने रूरल न्यूज़ को बहुत ही कूल बना के और इंटरेस्टिंग तरीके से सबके सामने पैकेज करना स्टार्ट किया। और मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ मिली कि मैं इनके इस मिशन का पार्ट बनूं। और अभी मेरा पहला ही महीना है इनके साथ में और मैं बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग स्टोरीज़ ऑलरेडी कर रही हूँ और पूरी इनकी टीम मुझे हेल्प कर रही है कि जो मेरे आइडियाज़ हैं उनको किस तरीके से आप लोगों के सामने दिखाया जाए कि आप लोग भी इंस्पायर हो टू बिकम स्टोरी टेलर्स, बिकॉज it's doable and there are hundreds of stories around you and even you today when you go back home, आप कोई भी अखबार खोलें या न्यूज़ चैनल चलाएं, मैं आशा करती हूँ कि आप इसी तरीके की कूल डेवलपमेंट रूरल न्यूज़ ढूंढने की कोशिश करेंगे और न्यूज़पेपर्स और पब्लिकेशंस से डिमांड करेंगे कि हमें इस तरीके की खबरें पढ़नी है, तभी हम लोग इस तरीके की बेटर न्यूज़ देख पाएंगे। ओके, तो मैं वापस टीस्टा को बुलाऊंगी ऑन स्टेज टू शेयर मोर डिटेल्स एंड आपके कोई भी क्वेश्चंस है सो वील बी अराउंड, फील फ्री टू कैच अस। ओके,
आई एम बैक एंड वाइल यू गाइज मस्ट बी थिंकिंग कि फेलोशिप अभी कैसे दी, अभी तो बोर्ड्स आ रहे हैं, 10th की देनी है, 12th की देनी है। वी हैव एन अपॉर्चुनिटी for you guys to get published on Village Square because we are starting user generated content from next year, which means that you will be able to create a profile on Village Square and share your rural India stories. If you like to write, if you want to get published, and if you want to get a byline, then you're more than welcome to come and register with Yukti after this. You can just leave your email IDs and details and we will be emailing you all the details and handy links. Now, before we wrap up, let's sprinkle some fun into the mix with a game of bingo. You will be receiving bingo cards. But before that, let me just tune out of Instagram. For all those of you who have watched us live here, thank you so much. We are now going to be moving ahead with our a game of bingo with the students. And yeah, thanks for joining us. And all of you, you have 20 minutes to tick off every task on your bingo card. And the top 5 hustlers scoring the most tasks checked off will get a Village Square hamper. So once you're done, just come here and tell me how many you've got, and we'll give you a hamper. Only to the ones that get the maximum, the top 5. So let the games begin.
and I will be more than happy to answer. In that way, we can have more interacting session with you, you will be getting to know us more, and I will also be getting to know if you guys have any questions. So please stand up, feel free to ask anything that you want to know about journalism, about media, about how do we write, why should we write. I mean, I have cut the conversation because of the lack of time last time. So let me share some stories that me and our colleagues. Meanwhile, you guys prepare your mind for if you have questions, more questions, like why do we see less media representation of rural India? That is your question. I mean, it should come to you naturally. So there are larger picture of why do we get so minute representation of media coverage from the villages. The answer to that would be like big businesses, that the big corporate media which controls what is being produced and what should not be produced. And of course, there are behind that corporate forces, there are certain many other forces, not just one, two. If you see recently what happened, the only television on which you would get some rural media coverage, as in like floods, as in like drought, as in like some natural disaster, as in like tsunami if you get. So those kind of things were used to covered sensitively on that television. It was NDTV. It was brought up by certain corporate giant like Adani and all. So those people would not like you to see what is happening in and why is it happening in the poverty-stricken, ill health-stricken society. So, okay, interesting. So Tista just informed me that many of you are stuck in the bingo and you're taking help from the senior. That you can take if those of you feel like there are some hard questions for you. Of course, this is a media kind of thing and journalism kind of thing, so it will always be tough. You can also share your bingo cards and ask your seniors to help you, those who have those who are in class 11th and all. So these are the collaboration you can understand now. And any as I asked you guys, any questions from class 11th? Can you hear me? Do you have any questions for me? No problem. So I myself will be telling you more what I feel like. So say for example, if there are stories like I told you about the biggest underground library, how did it come? Who built it? Who are the people dedicated to the cause of education? Who are the people really giving their life for educating our society, our society they want our society to learn and grow together. This library is under the Thar Desert. Imagine how scientific this library is built, that if you go inside the earth, there will always be as temperature difference, there will be 10 degree minus. If there is 50 degree Celsius in on the ground in Rajasthan, if you go in Jaisalmer, that part, if you go in the inside the library, which is huge, you will naturally feel very happy, and the tourists have definitely come there to visit that library, but there is no reader. Like only 5 students were reading those 9 lakh copies of books. That was strange. So what are the other stories that my colleagues also covered? Say for example, my colleague from Odisha, she covered one about the journey of a man who has so far in 30 or 40 years of his life covered all the medicinal plants that people that grow in that area. and that he has documented it. 3,000 of medicinal plants. Imagine the impact that if those are the things that come out. If you ever feel, okay, if you ever feel that you discover one medicinal plant, your life is like changed from that day. That insight, that energy you get, and he has covered 3,000. What humble man. Then my colleague from Chan from Manipur, he has covered that amazing football stories, amazing cricketer stories. So there are rural stories, there are rural games, rural sports which you cover, which you can cover, and of course, are we done with bingo thing, Tista? And believe me, there are many platforms which are coming for providing you you just have to subscribe to different, think from here, you think differently. Don't just focus on the 99.7% that you get in your feed everyday news. You just also think about you're done. Okay, fine. So just also think about those 0.24% that you only get covered. That way your perspective will change, that way you will broaden your horizon of thinking, and that way you will become more humble, compassionate, rural storytellers, and at least not if tellers then receiver, then readers you will become. Thank you so much. No? Okay. So those who have the announcement that we are those who have completed or those who are still in the process, they can all come on the nearby the stage, and we will be announcing the winner shortly. Time is up, so please and if you are first five, very quickly come on the stage. No. Please come and see if you. Come forward, please. Don't hesitate. Come forward. This is your school, not mine.
Okay, how many of you have done 10 out of 16? Raise your hands. It's too aspirational. You've done 10? Yes. Okay, but whatever you can do, you do. Maximum. Yeah, how many? Okay, 9 here. 7. We have 7. You write your name. I won't know. Yeah, sure. 5, give.
Ma'am, I have done 9, but
This is yours? 9 wala?
this and that.
Okay, write your name.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, in both?
So we have 9, 7. Oh, this is no, where? Is this yours? Okay, I don't have any time. And if you guys want your hampers, just give me your cards.
I've written the name.
Else I'll have to go and take the hampers along with me. How many do you have?
Ma'am, 9.
I have 2, 9, 9, 9, and 6. I have 3 9s already, and I'm picking 9, 4 9s, and the last one. Quickly, guys, anyone to beat 9? How much is this? 11? Okay, so this might be 11, so I think we have a winner here. I'm sorry, this was a little like rushed up, because of which I've taken the first 4 9 entries, the entries with 9 and 1 with 11, and there are more people with 9 here. But you can go collect your badge and follow us on Instagram and just participate in many more competitions and win many more goodies. Okay, Yukti, can you quickly check so that we can give out their hampers? Yukti? Yukti, can you come and check these and we can give them their hampers? But we have, yeah, we're done. Tough luck. But if you guys over the course of this weekend have the time to, you end up ticking more boxes, just click a photo, put a story on Instagram, tag us, and we will send your hampers to you. So those of you who've done 9 and 11, just keep at it, and by Sunday evening, put a story on Instagram with your bingo cards and tag us so that we know, and we will send across your hampers to you. Okay, this is for everyone.
The hampers will be presented. May I now please call the Hindi choir?
Thank you. I think that's been a very dynamic and entertaining session for the children, particularly. And I'm also very grateful for the Village Square team who flown in from Bombay just last evening. And we're so, so grateful that you could put all of this together with us and for the children, especially. And as a token of gratitude, we want to have our Hindi choir put a little song for you. And in the process, while the children line up, I'd like to thank the team at Valley of Words, the organizers, the volunteers who've relentlessly worked behind the scenes, the TonsBridge Leadership and Management, the chairperson's office, Village Square for their relentless endeavor in bringing the rural forward. And with that, I'd like the Hindi choir to take center stage and close the session thereafter. Thank you.
Hello, check.
Hello.
Hello.
वालों की कभी हार नहीं होती, लहरों से डर मैं सृष्टि सेठी जी से आग्रह करूंगा कि वो इस मंच पर आएं और ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग रूरल इंडिया की टीम को वोट ऑफ थैंक्स से सम्मानित करें।
Thank you for being such a wonderful audience, and to the children, particularly from the TonsBridge, class 9th and 11th, and their teachers who've accompanied them today, the Hindi choir, and members of the audience, like I said, right up in front. I see so many familiar faces from our wonderful valley, and I would request all of our audience members to have a look at the book stalls. We have the coffee table book around, and it's also up here for you to have a closer look. Our colleague is putting them up now. But thank you so much. With this, we close the session. Appreciate your time.